Hi guys, Kirk from Cabinetry Creations. In this video, we're going to talk about, I don't know, something that's probably going to give me a lot of comments and remarks and things that nobody likes, but we're going to talk about cabinetry and sort of myths related to cabinetry. And everybody seems to have opinions on cabinetry. I might state some opinions that aren't super well liked. Anyhow, let's get into it. First and foremost, soft close hinges and soft close drawers means you have a high quality cabinet. That does not mean you have a high quality cabinet. I could take a straight out of China, super thin particle board cabinet and put soft close on it. Right? That does not indicate any sort of quality of the actual cabinetry. Doesn't even necessarily indicate quality of hinge. At this point, sort of soft close hinges are almost ubiquitous. I mean, they're just everywhere. And there are good quality ones and there are poor quality ones. And so at this point, soft close doesn't even indicate anything about quality, to be honest. Number two, the one that might get me the most amount of people typing away about their beliefs about cabinetry and or plywood, but I guess I want to start with what is plywood. So plywood indicates how something is made. It doesn't indicate what it is made of. So in theory, you could have, this is plywood, right? These are sticky notes. So plywood is essentially thin layers of wood or other materials stacked, glued, often pressed, and you get something that is essentially cheaper than real wood. And, you know, it's a good material to use to make cabinets. Now, I think, right, so this is plies. This is just stacks of what was wood at one point in time stacked together. And so in theory, this is plywood. Well, this isn't a good material for cabinetry, obviously. So some of the ways they make plywood, and this is where you get into, man, well, that's not good quality, but you can make plywood with thin sheets of wood and you can then put cork in there. And right, because you're trying to get thickness or you're trying to accomplish a lighter weight for shipping. And so anyhow, my point would be, because it says it's plywood doesn't mean that it is a good quality cabinet. It means that it is made with a piece of material that is stacked, glued, and essentially pressed together. Doesn't make it good, doesn't make it quality. And here's a real hot take. I'd rather have a really high quality particle board than a low quality plywood. Also, we may make a video that shows testing between high quality particle board and high quality plywood essentially submerged in water. And what's interesting is one of our manufacturers that we sell did this, and what they found was particle board did the exact same as plywood, maybe even a little bit better. Anyhow, off of this topic, everybody type away. There's another thing out there, number three, that hand painted is better than essentially machine painted. And for the most part, that is not true. These machines are very, very expensive, and they give, especially if you get an expensive one, they give what is pretty close to a perfect finish. I don't get into the nerdy technicals of it, but if you see, hand painted, that is not better. It is often worse, right? So that's a myth that people believe if someone did it by hand, it's better. In the world of painting and finishing, not necessarily true. Don't buy into that. Number four, so people call us and ask us all the time, hey, I want all wood cabinets. Basically no cabinets are made of all wood. And so plywood isn't wood in the sort of term that many people think of wood. So like a 2x4 is taken from a long tree and you would cut out, 1.5 by 3.5 inches of wood, and that's wood, right? That is just cut right from a tree, where plywood is not made that way, right? You're not getting sheets of plywood that are just cut right out of a tree. So most cabinetry, or very little cabinetry, if any, is made from, what we would use the term something like dimensional lumber. So think 2x4s. Very few cabinets are made from that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. It certainly does. Very, very expensive, very cost prohibitive, not done in anything in mass. So if you're thinking cabinetry is made out of all wood, it's not. Fifth but not least, Cheap cabinetry is the same as more expensive cabinetry, and it is not. We actually bought, and I sort of held this belief a little bit in my own brain, like, is there that big of a difference between sort of a mid-level semi-custom cabinet and some of the cheap stuff you see online? And there is. Point blank, there is. We went and bought essentially 3 cabinets from very large online cabinet retailers, sent them or had them sent to us, went through the process, by the way. Not a good process, very slow. They shipped us, I bought 1 cabinet from each manufacturer and multiple, didn't send us didn't send us all the materials we needed to make the cabinets. One of them didn't involve instructions either, which we eventually got there, we think. But anyhow, those cabinets, and they're ready to assemble. So they came flat packed, you had to build them yourself. When built, not even close to the quality, right? And I just mean from a integrity standpoint or structural integrity standpoint, quality of materials, quality of finish, wasn't even close. And I do think there's a place for them. Like I'm not anti those cabinets, but if you're trying to make an investment in a kitchen, not the type of cabinetry I would use ever. And I will tell you, prior to doing that, my brain sort of said, is it as good? It might be as good. It's not as good. It's not even close. And for anybody who's a local, we actually still have these cabinets. We're more than happy to show them to people, and you will immediately take in the difference in quality. Anyhow, those are some myths about cabinetry. Don't go easy on me. Don't be too mean to me about particle board and plywood. That seems to get people riled up. Anyhow, I hope this video was helpful. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.